I didn't realize I had it running already. I'm going to do a little video here. Probably won't be a lot of narration or anything in it. I'm just going to do a bunch of work that I got to do in the bee yard here. I've got to pull in a graft out that I got to take to another yard to put in to a bunch of mating nucs. I just brought 3 splits here. Anyway, I got to I'm going to go through some hives, pull a few bees out so I can put them in mating nucs so I can take them with me back to the other yard to place those cells in. And I have a box with a queen in it and a few frames of brood that's in the truck. I got to bring down here. I'm going to mesh it with what's left of that hive that I grafted into. I'm just going to give them back a different queen and some brood. And because I didn't bring the proper equipment, I meant to bring another one of those yellow boxes and mesh that box with the one that I'm going to add to it. But because I forgot to do that, I'm just going to drop a bottom board in the box and put the nuke that I brought in the center of the box and put these other frames on the outside. And hopefully all that works out. Not smoking these drills. This would only produce like 16 cells. So anyways, might be a quiet video because I'm get moving here and get sidetracked. Sting right off the bat. Right. Working bees in the evening's never a good idea. Here's a cool little comb they drew off of the grafting frame. Here's the grafting frame. It didn't do so well. It's only 16. But they're decent cells. Hoping you can see that. Don't know if you can. Anyway, I gotta take that to a different yard. And I just use these bees and a bunch more bees. Keep them warm. Instead of carrying them in an incubator, I just use the bees. Grab this other box of bees here. The queen right here, I checked for the queen. Right here. I don't know if you can see that somewhere in there. There she is. Little black one. Grab one of these other lids. I'm gonna put this in the truck so we don't forget it. Actually, I can show you what you're sitting on right here too, maybe. You're sitting on another graft. I just did, oh, Fridays. I do it Friday. I'm gonna have to change it from Friday because Fridays aren't gonna work for the long weekend because I have to put the cells in Sunday or Monday, so I gotta change the date so I can actually have a long weekend. I haven't had one in May for years. But so we wrap these girls up, keep them warm, right? Because there's still the odd night that's a little iffy. So you see most of my hives here in the yard are wrapped. They'll probably get unwrapped right now. Oh, look at the ants. Holy crap, holy. Isn't that nice? Oh, they've gone through that whole jar of feed already. Okay, so gone through a lot of that patty too. Busy girls here. I'm surprised at that. We'll fill them up with feed again before I leave here. But we'll see what they got started, if they got anything started, or if I'm a total failure. I don't know where you see from this. they're sitting. Let me see. Oh yeah, you can see that. Okay, so I'll just move some of these. There's one, two. See that how it's right full of royal jelly there. Three. Let me see. It'd be easier to count the ones that missed. There's one that missed. Two that missed. Two that missed. That one might be a miss. That's a miss. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that could be for any reason. I could have flipped the larvae over by accident when I was putting it in, or maybe damaged the larvae or something when I was putting it in. But anyways, 8. There's usually 34. So that's 26 cells I may get out of this one. I'm actually doing them in smaller amounts. I used to do them in like 51 or 52. Now I'm doing them in 34s, but I did 2 grafts the same day. I did one here and one in another yard. But anyways, that's a good thing. If the other one works out as good as this, I'll end up with like 50 cells I have to put in, right? Which is a challenge. That's a lot of cells, man. Especially when you're starting the year. Once you get rolling and you got mating nukes all over the place that are empty, and you can just throw it back in with another graft in. There you can put another cell in one that you've taken a queen out of, in the mating nukes. Way easier. This time of year I have to produce every single one. Every mating nuke I have to produce in order to put the bees in, right? So, I get my mating nuke boxes, the ones I'm using today. Try not to get caught in the fence. At least it's not turned on. Yeah, here are my mating boxes. Thinking you can see this right here. I'll just double check in the camera here and make sure you can see that. Okay. So, these are my mating boxes. So what's in here, they're specially made boxes. Each one's got 3 frames in it. You just need enough bees in there to keep the hive, the 3-frame hive warm, right? So I always put a pulled frame in the center because I'm going to pull a frame with maybe a little bit of brood out of a hive to stick in here. And then so I have one frame in here with honey on it to keep them going. And I have one blank one because if there gets to be a flow of something or they find something, they can pack out 3 frames pretty quick if I make them too strong, right? And this time of year I tend to make them a little stronger because I don't want them to die, and they can die from the cold if there's a cold night, right? Anyway, so put some bees in this one, put some bees in this one, put some bees in this one. I got the little dials on here, so when I get to the other yard, I just open it up, and the bees can come and go. But until I get there, this stays closed. There's little holes in here for air. And I'm actually, this is one of the hives I just moved here. The other half of the hive is actually in the other yard where I'm taking that graft, and I'm going to put a cell in. But I'm probably going to steal a frame out of this for this box, right? So I'll just be able to keep the camera right there, and these bees might not look too happy because I just moved them here. They're going to fly out, they don't know where the hell they're going, right? So let's give them some smoke. These ratchet straps put out in the rain so they don't work worth crap. But oh, and these ones, when I put them together, I just use a grain sack. That's actually a quarter of a grain sack. I can get 4 covers out of grain sack. So these are migratory lids. They're just easier for moving with. These bees are not going to be happy with me, but whatever. That's life when you're a bee. You get smoked. So I take the center frame out. It's a cold frame. Okay. I go through here. I like to find a frame with a little bit of brood, not too damn much, because I don't want to overload my boxes, right? So see, these ones have all hatched out, and she's relayed in them. I got to make sure I don't get my queen, which should be easy enough. There's quite a few bees hanging on the bottom there. I'll take both these frames out. Put the frame in with the brood in it there, right? Take another brood frame. Check for the queen. Shake it in. That's where the young bees are. If you want the young bees, they won't try and fly back over to here to this hive, right? All the bees are stuck to the back where they smoked them. Okay, that's all I do. Then I'll go back through and look for the queen. I'm probably not going to find her because all the bees are actually off the frame on the back of the box. So I'll do a quick check and then I'll come back and check for her again later, after I get some bees out of the other boxes. Now they're all on the bottom there. I'm not going to find her right now. I don't usually smoke very often, or I don't smoke the bees much, because I don't want this to happen. Okay? Lots of times when you smoke, the queen goes and hides, right? Now I put this one that was pulled in beside the brood frames. She can have a place to lay, if she has enough anyway. box has enough bees in it. Little wee bit of brood that's still going to hatch out, and then there's larvae and stuff in there that'll there's larvae and stuff that'll eventually be capped, and then it'll hatch out. So there's all stages in there. So what I do that, that's one. I'll do that with the other two. Then I put this on. As you can see, this has been on one of these mating boxes before. One side, center, the other side. That was when it was a red marker. Now it's a green marker. So I'll just mark on this 3 cells, so 3C, and they were grafted, what day's today? 5th. So it's in my phone. Anyways, it's in my phone. It was April 8/26, okay? So that tells me there's 3 cells put in there that were grafted on April 26th, okay? And then put the lid on. When I come back, I'll check. When I come back, if I come back when the queens are mated or not, I'll mark on each one. Queen, as you can see here. Queen, queen, I put that on when there's a laying queen in there. If there's not a laying queen in there, I put VQ, so virgin queen, if there's a queen in that's not mated yet. Anyway, instead of boring you to death through the whole yard, I'm just going to shut it off here, and that's just part of my process.